What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mike Robinson, and this is another episode of Let's Take a Walk. I hope everybody had a great week. I had a great week. It was kind of a blur, but we are here safe and unharmed, and so you can't beat that. So we thank God for that. Um, Eltar is known for having these awesome and interesting guests, and tonight is no exception. Tonight we welcome a young lady who is anointed. She's a singer, songwriter. She is based out of Atlanta, Georgia, but she is by way of Louisiana. But she'll tell you that herself, I'm sure. For those of you who may not be familiar with Miss Scherica Lockhart, in her movement, I'm going to give her a moment to kind of reintroduce herself and give a little background to all that she has going on. So with that being said, you got the floor.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you for having me. I am totally
No problem.
honored to be here tonight. Something different for a Friday night for me and my family. As you said before, my name is Scherica Lockhart, and I was born in Shreveport, Louisiana, raised in the city of Atlanta, Georgia. I come from a line of pastors, singers, musicians. I'm considered as a PK kid. And I now live in the metro of Atlanta with my husband, and we have 2 kids. I just pretty much took upon this new journey of singing, having my own ministry in singing as of 4 years now. And so it definitely has been an experience, and I'm just excited to be here and to share my life to encourage someone else tonight.
Awesome. Yes, sir. So, Miss Lockhart.
Yes.
Where do we get started? I mean, let's start from your humble beginnings. When did you start your musical journey? I mean, start.
Like start for real. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so 2017, I was actually in corporate America. I guess you could say living the American dream. But working in corporate America, loved my job. And towards the last few years, it became very challenging. I had a challenging manager. I dealt with racism. I dealt with just like degrading of women. And it was just very tough. The atmosphere was extremely difficult to the point that it was Friday and I was already dreading Monday. You know what I mean? It was just horrible. And so we got to the point where I prayed and asked God to, hey, either remove him or remove me. And he answered my prayers. I didn't know he was going to remove me, but he did. And I was laid off due to budget cuts. And during that time, even though God had answered my prayers, and I guess this is the reason why they say you got to be careful what you pray for. Right. But when God answered my prayers, I went through a moment of like depression. My husband and I, we had just invested into a brand new home, and we only had one child at the time, and we was getting ready to have our second child. And so I was like, oh God, what am I gonna do? We did this together, and just was really nervous about everything. And I began to seek God because that time I had a whole lot of time on hand. So I prayed and seek God for like 4 hours a day. And one day my brother, who is a music producer, Kedrick Gatson, shout out to him. But he reached out to me and was like, hey, Scherica, I really feel like I need to give you a track. And at that time I wasn't interested in doing music, I needed a job, and so I was just like, right. Hey, look, I don't know. I need a job that's going to pay my bills. I'm not trying to do no music or anything like that. He was like, no, Scherica, I really feel led to give you this music. So I took it anyway, but I didn't listen to it. Just began to see God even more and more, just like, God, what do you want me to do? And one day I just decided to just turn it on and just listen to the instrument of this song. And it really started ministering to me, like music lyrics was just downloading, like really downloading. And next thing you know, I found myself in the studio. I partnered with this guy named JoJo Martin, very talented young man. And he co-wrote with me on this project. And next thing I know, again, I was just in the studio. I wasn't trying to, put nothing out. But once I completed it, everyone was like, no, you can't sit on this. You got to do something with this. So I released the music. My mind was blown. Next thing you know, we're doing a music video. I was able to implement some of my testimony, being, in the video, it says I was fired, but in real life, I was really laid off. And so I was able to implement that into it, just seeking God for more. And he gave me that song. And from that moment on, things just took off from there. Like I said, it was not my plan. If you would have told me this was something that I was going to do, I wouldn't believe you. Even though I was prophesied to that, about music, but you hear prophecies and stuff all the time. It's like, okay, Lord, all right, well, I'm old now. Maybe in my younger years, but not up in my 40s or whatever. But yeah, God had a whole nother plan for me, and it blew my mind. So yeah.
Wow. So you have first off, I want to say you have a very a very interesting story. But you would be surprised how many people that I've interviewed, artists that have similar stories, came from corporate America and left that whole scene and ended up, doing what you're doing. One song turns into a whole project.
Yeah.
And it becomes like a whirlwind.
Yeah.
Looking at the point you are now, looking back, which it's probably been just a relatively short time since you did that first song to now, but even in that time, do you feel like you were ready? Like, were you ready? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually? When you think about it now, were you ready for everything that you endured throughout this process?
I'm going to tell you no. I don't think I was ready. I mean, it wasn't even on my agenda. My focus was on, I need a job.
Right.
My focus was on, what are we going to do? I don't want my husband to have to, carry the load by himself. You know what I mean? So, but again, I kept seeking the Lord. And if I really be very blunt with you, it was mind blowing, but yet he put me back in corporate America, back in the same place. So it's almost as if I wouldn't say that I was out of line, but it almost seemed like he needed to adjust me.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. I'm just following the lead of God. I mean, would we ever think that we're ready?
Right. That's true. That's true.
So,
well, let me slightly adjust this question. Since you started this musical journey, was there a specific moment where you realized that what it was becoming? Or was it a series of events that happened? Or was there one particular moment that it dawned on you that this was happening? Like, this was the material was good, quote unquote, good enough. This could be a thing. You know what I'm saying? What was there a moment, or was there a series of moments?
I think it was a series of moments, like just accepting it, embracing it. Because to really be honest with you, again, I didn't want it. So it's like, the more, I'm still in shock even now, like, really, like, this is really what I'm doing. I just didn't, he just had to keep on encouraging me to do more.
Right.
And even during that downtime, he was giving me more lyrics to different songs. So it was like a process, and acceptance. Like, I still needed to accept the call, because I thought that one single was it, and just move on. Come on, let's go work now. And the Lord said, no. And you know what? The weirdest thing, my brother kept giving me tracks.
Wow.
He kept giving me, and the more he kept giving it to me, the more it was like I was trusting the Lord to even give me the lyrics. Like, it was just things, it became a process for me. I would find myself singing in the car, getting lyrics in the car, cooking, and and even in the midst of that, my children was seeing the process. Hey, mom just made that up in the kitchen. Now she's in the studio recording, and this is the project. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's funny, like not just in music, but just in a creative process as a whole, sometimes all you need is that one spark to get those wheels turning. It's almost like a muscle that you never used before. You know what I'm saying? It's like you start exercising it and it becomes, you know what I'm saying? It gets stronger or whatever. But
Right. And
so
then
I absolutely get it.
and then even in the midst of that, it's still I would say, I don't know if that really sound right. Does that make sense? The lyrics that I'm writing, like, let me go to someone that I know that's a professional in this. Do that sound right? And they're like, yeah, you
Yeah.
know, what's wrong with you? Of course, like, so it's like God was building me up, building my
Yeah.
confidence, and yeah, like I said, it's just a process.
Wow. So now we're at the point where we are right now. And when I have somebody on this platform, I try to do my due diligence and do as much research as I can on the person as I can.
Mhm.
And so, you sent me information, and then I did some of my own, stuff. And I was just listening to some of the ministry that you had recorded up this far. And I really feel like there's a consistent message through every song. Not that they sound the same, but
Mhm.
there's a consistent message. It's an awakening, I guess, for lack of better words. Like you're it's like you woke up. Like you were in a certain place, and now these songs have woken you up. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Amazing God and Conqueror, and
Oh,
Victorious. These are things that it sounded to me like it was like you had an awakening.
mm.
Can you speak to that? Like, was that purposeful, or it just kind of evolved into that, or am I off base at all?
No, I mean, you're deep. You're deep, brother. No, no, I mean, I never looked at it like that, but now that you say that, it's like, it is an awakening. Um, embracing it, seeing it for what it is, because I found him to be victorious. You know, Even in my situation that I was in, with the loss of the job. I mean, I battled with, like I said, with depression. It got to the point where I didn't want to hear the commercials of the on the television about the job, seeing the trucks,
Right, right,
being with the people that I had befriended. I didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? So, but later on, as I began to see what God was doing, I started embracing, and he's victorious, you know what I'm saying?
right.
Conquerors, the whole nine. So those things came to me, like I said, during that time that I was actually laid off. But I had every intention to release them like shortly, but then there was a delay. Just weird stuff started happening, and battle really wanted to quit at that point, because I'm like, okay, this ain't working. I'm gonna spend a lot of money. And so, but I felt like God was saying now is the time. So why not bring an awakening in 2022, where
Right,
a whole lot of chaos is going on and people need to know that they are victorious and that he is amazing in spite of everything that's going on. So I just believe that it was just something that he gave me at that time, and it was what I was hearing that he was saying to me. And now was the time to release. That's the way how I took it.
so since you've you've created this movement. Who who have, if anybody, if there has been anyone, who have you been most surprised to find out knew who you were?
Hmm. I mean, I don't know. Maybe like you saying for as a known artist, or you saying
Any,
just
yeah,
people in general?
I'm speaking strictly for you. Who are you most surprised to know was aware of you? Like, it could be it could be a well-known artist, it could be your grandma. I don't know.
Well, just recently, my brother went to a function, an event, and this guy walked up to him and said, "Hey, uh, I saw a picture of you and this girl, and she could sing, and she this and she's that, or whatever." And my brother was like, "Well, what's her name?" He was like, "I think her name is Erica," and he was like, "I don't know who that is." And so he showed him a picture. He was like, "Man, she dope. I love her music." And he was like, "I don't know who you're talking about." He was like, you got something you're gonna show?" He's like, "Yeah, she's on my social media page." And he
Yeah,
showed him who it was. He was like, "Man, that's my sister." And I was like, he was like, "Oh man, I love her music." So, to hear stuff like that, I'm like, oh wow, oh wow. Or
yeah,
even to get just receive words from people on social media who I don't know that follow me, just to hear them, talk about what the music have done for them. That's very encouraging. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know
absolutely.
that I'm doing what God has called me to do, because sometimes I do be like, okay, well, but like I said, it's still a process of me just accepting and knowing that there's somebody that's, a ear for my voice,
Right,
and for the call and for the message.
right.
So, yeah.
That was kind of going to be my next question. Do you feel like an artist at this point? Do you feel like an artist?
You, can I be really honest with you?
Sure.
I don't even like that name, artist. Cause I really don't like. Cause when I think about artists, I think about performance, and I don't perform. I don't act. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like I don't like talent, being a talent show to audition. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, I understand you do that if you want to be a part. But I really don't like that. I believe it's ministry. Every time I get the mic, I think, hey, it's time. It's time to show up. And that's just the way how I see it. I know that I'm not trying to be deep or anything, but I don't like competition. Um, so I know that that's the term that we use,
Yeah,
artists. So I get it. But to say, do I believe it that I am one? I really when I come home, no. When I'm with my kids and my husband, oh, that's out the door. No, I don't really, no. I don't.
do
Is that
you
weird?
do you when you listen to your music? First of all, do you listen to your music?
I do. I do.
Okay.
And if I
Um.
don't, and if I don't, my kids will.
Okay. Do you and this is a question that I've asked a few artists because I'm really curious. Like, do you feel like you hear what we hear? Like, and I asked that question because, like, I was thinking one day, like, I think I might have heard somebody say, they had been doing music for like 15, 20 years, and they still, it's still like weird to them that people um like their music or come out to see them. You know what I'm saying? It's still kind of a weird feeling. And so it just got my wheels to turn. And I'm like, is it do you hear what we hear? And if you do, do you feel like that's dangerous to be able to hear what we hear?
I don't hear what you I'll say this. Some songs you be like, like amazing, the song Amazing. I literally I want to cry.
Mhm.
I think I do cry because I'm shocked that God gave me that.
Mm-hmm.
The way how that song came about, I was doing praise and worship. Actually, somebody else was doing praise and worship, and this young lady stopped and gave me the mic and said the Lord told her to give me the mic. And I didn't really know the song that she was singing, so I just opened my mouth and lyrics started flowing. And it was in my ear even after service and later on in months and months, and I knew that I had to do something with it. So to go back and hear that song again, I kind of tear up because it's just like, wow, I would have never put that together. This is nobody but God. Every song that you hear, I just like nobody but God.
Right.
I couldn't have did that.
Were you writing prior to that, or you just when your brother gave you the track, that's when you started writing, or were you writing before that?
No, I was okay. So in my younger years, I would do a little something, but again, it was not on this level. So
Okay.
everything happened after more.
Wow. You made a mention earlier about your age and things of that nature. Um, when we look at today's culture, even in Christian music, imagery seems to be a very important element. You know what I'm saying? Just almost as much as the actual expression of the ministry or expression of the worship. Um, how aware are you of image when it comes to your process? Like, is that something that's a part of your preparation, or I mean, what does that mean to you? Because like we look at like secular artists,
Mm-hmm.
and they have it. Not only do they have the talent, but they got, what I'm saying, it's certain boxes that are checked. You know what I mean? And so when you go look over to the Christian side, it's become, it seems to me that it's becoming more and um more of a priority, I guess, for lack of better words. What do you think about that? Like, how do you see that on your journey?
Now, are you talking about like appearance?
Yeah, appearance, like you know, certain, maybe certain brands, certain outfits, certain, like we saw maybe about a year ago, Erica Campbell.
Uh-huh.
She was wearing a body dress. Nothing was showing, but she
Uh-huh.
received some backlash for
Right.
it. I saw Kiera Sheard
Mm-hmm.
one time. She wore something, and it, like, her chest was kind of revealed, and so she received a lot of backlash for that.
Yeah.
But then there are some who feel like evolution has to take place. But then there's another side that is like holding on to the, if if you call yourself evolving in that way,
Mm-hmm.
then that means somehow that you're letting go of the traditional values, and thus kind of like demeaning the genre. Like, what do you
Yeah.
say about that?
So first of all, I have someone, um, this guy, his name is Style by Fashion Mister. Um, and he helped me with my wardrobe. I'm always saying, hey, I don't want nothing too tight.
Mhm.
I don't want anything, I don't want to present like a sex appeal. That's just me. Cause it's enough of that out there.
Mhm.
I wanna look classy. Um, I still want to look cute. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's just me because I just want to be different. Um, so I do believe that your image and I think your appearance is very important. because we live in a visual world. So you want to look up to par, but I don't think you have to reveal so much to get get someone's attention. But I'm always telling him, look, there's too much leg, there's too much. And he said, I'm getting on his nerves. And I tell him all, they're like, girl, you too young to be like that. But it's just, I don't
Well,
know.
I guess what I'm saying is like from a marketing standpoint, like, is that important? Like, you know what I'm saying? Is marketing important to, what you're doing? And like, does that all tie in the whole imagery and things of that nature? Now you were saying, nothing, it can't be too tight, you know what I'm saying? It can't be too revealing, but you want to look cute.
And classic.
Not so much not so much sexy, quote
Right.
unquote. But, I mean,
But that's me
I,
though. That's me. I can't, I can't. Everybody have their own different view. It's just me. I want to be taken seriously, and I don't want to be like compared to everybody else. I want to be different. I do believe marketing is very important, but I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. I don't want to say respect, but I just want to be different. Because again, we got enough of that. And I just feel like I just don't want to do that. I just don't. I don't want it. I don't want you to look at me, because I got that on. I want you to listen to what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's still a way to be cool. It's still a way to look cute. It's still a way to be. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I'm really even answering your question,
I
but I
mean,
do believe everything, when it comes down to marketing, I mean, everything that we've done thus far, is with excellence, and it's classy. And I think that it's going to draw your attention. Like, I do want to have an appeal where it's like, I wonder what she's saying. What's she talking about? Let me, you know what I mean? You want to have that, you want to capture that attention. So the look is one thing, but when you open up your mouth, it's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? One person told me now that look that I have for the Victoria's single, one person told me, oh God. He said, oh, I'm gonna have to put that can't go on my sanctified stack.
you said it can't do what?
Go in his sanctified stack.
Okay.
I had the big sleeves and I had like this leather skirt on.
Yeah.
He said it can't go in his sanctified stack.
Well, I think that's a personal, you know what I'm saying? That's a personal issue. You know what I'm saying? It's very that whole subject is really, it's really complicated because I think in general when we talk about look, imagery, I think it's all subjective. I mean, especially if I mean, let's face it, there are some women that are very curvy. You know what I'm saying? They're naturally voluptuous, very, they can't help it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they can't help it. So no matter what they wear,
right,
it's going to accentuate, it's going to be accentuated. So it's like, there are going to be some that'll look upon that and be like, oh, she's trying to be cute or she's trying to show, when
really
it's something that she can't help. You know what I mean? But I just always wonder that about artists, particularly Christian artists, because there seems to be such a fine line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, that you have to walk, especially for women.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Have you found, being a female Christian artist, like, do you find that there's like a double standard? Have you found there to be a double standard? Do you feel like maybe you're treated differently than your male counterparts, or has that affected how, do you think that it's had an impact on how your music is released or how it's been received, or that type of thing?
Honestly, I haven't experienced that. Um, you know, not to that. No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I haven't.
Who-
I'm still trying to get my feet wet, but I haven't crossed that line yet.
Got you. Got you. Who would you say is your greatest musical influence?
Oh God, I can go back old school. I like, of course, Karen Clark.
Mhm.
I like Vanessa Bell Armstrong. Um, Candace Staten, like I said,
Mm.
way back. But coming back up to date, I actually like Fantasia.
Wow.
Um, I think it's the church girl in her. Like the girl is anointed, like for real.
Yeah.
Um, I like Casting Crowns.
Hmm.
But back in the day, though, Vanessa Bell and Karen Clark, those were the people that I was really gleaned to. Yeah.
Okay. So you feel like you're more drawn to the OGs. Um, what's your what's your take on the state of Christian music right now?
Hmm.
Like, how do you feel about what's out there now?
It's not the same. Um, you're gonna get me in trouble. It's not the same. It's not compelling me to cry out to the Lord.
Mhm.
It's not. Mm,
I think that there's a great effort being made to appeal to a younger audience,
yeah.
um, which kind of alienates artists like yourself and others. Like I saw after the Stellar Awards, I saw that I think it was Ernest Pugh spoke out and was like basically saying that there was just not enough traditional uh, elder statesmen and women on the show itself. There was not. It was just as he called it the Christian Hip Hop Awards.
Yeah.
Um, is that something that you?
So I actually saw that video, and I need to rewind back.
Mhm.
LaShawn Pace, I love her. Like she was a dear friend of mine's. Um, the Pace sisters, they were a part of my life.
Mm.
Musically, I agree with what he was saying. Is I agree. I really wish they can do the Stellar Awards one more time. Because I just don't know who was all on the board, or however they do it. Like they totally forgot the legends for real. I think that it should be a category where you have the hip hop Christian, you have um, um, the Christian, if you say, and then you have the gospel, and then you have, you know what I mean? The contemporary. It really should be a various of all, you know.
Yeah, I feel like that too. I think it should have been more diverse. I think it should have been more mixed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For maybe alternating, you might have a hip hop artist this time,
Yeah.
Donnie McClurkin.
Yeah.
You might have a Kiki Sheard here
Mhm.
and the Clark sisters.
Right.
Vice versa.
Yeah.
Or maybe do it, and they've done it in the past where they've actually put a young artist with a classic artist and they do numbers together. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Bring back
Which is
it. They could have came back with Take Six, for crying out loud, and
yeah, yeah.
and Commission and good old whinings. Like I mean, it's always a way to do it, and I think they did miss the mark this time. Yeah.
But you know what? We're talking about Scherica Lockhart today, though. We talking about Miss Scherica today. So if you could have it your way, right?
Hmm.
Um, what would you want me as the listener to know about you just by listening to your music? If you could have it, if you could control my thoughts in a sense, what would you want me to know, take away knowing about you just by listening to your music? Does that make sense?
That she have a relationship with the
Mhm.
Lord.
Wow.
She has a story to tell.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Wow. Wow.
And maybe that would kind of spark something in you to want to tap into what she was talking about.
Mhm. Who like to the conversation we was just having a second ago? Do you feel like your ministry is geared towards a certain group of people or type, quote unquote, type of Christian, a type of do you think that it's geared towards a certain remnant of people or?
So I'm still finding that, just trying to learn that. I do the ads on social media, and a lot of the age bracket that it seems to be reaching is like 25 to maybe like 50 something years of age.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't really, because sometimes I get the young kids, I get the little kids. I hear the little
Mhm.
kids hollering victorious. I have parents reach out to me all the time to say that they little kids are crazy about victorious, so
Right.
I don't really know, you know, because and then when I did like a test to see like the category of, for as in the artists, known artists, where would I fit? They say that it would go into the Tri-City, not Tri-City, Ty Tribbett audience, or Kurt Franklin audience, or Mary audience. It says that my music would gear more towards that. So does that make sense what I'm saying? Like for the
Absolutely.
target?
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Um, just from listening to your music, I don't think that you necessarily fall into that demographic. I think you have more of a world music type of sound, like more like EDM almost. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I think you have more of a universal sound. You have a you have it's your it's I don't know how to explain it, but it's different. It's not I can't really liken it to anybody, specifically. I think that you have more of I guess, like I said, a worldly sound. And when I say worldly, I mean like anybody. I think it's appealing to it has something for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It has that kind of hip hop in it, but it also has kind of a rock feel to
Hmm.
it as well.
Hmm.
Um, kind of a contemporary Christian
Hmm.
contemporary. It's kind of a gumbo of that. If I had to describe it, and I mean that's a good thing because I couldn't really I can't really put it into a single box and say
Yeah.
that it's one thing or the other.
Yeah. So I like Toby Mac.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, casting crowns and
Right.
King Country. I love
And
all.
that's exactly what I'm saying. Like that, you know what I mean? Not really, it's not really one specific, thing I could put you, put your ministry in. Um, what role has your family played in your whole process?
So my husband is very, very supportive. Now, believe it or not, when we were dating, he kept thinking I needed to do music all alone, you know.
Mhm.
And when we got married, he wanted to invest into a studio in our home, but I was like, oh no, oh no, no. But he has always been supportive. He helped me in putting more together. Even with the music video, he was the man to help me with that. Um, and but this EP now, he kind of left me hanging a little bit. He was like, you're gonna have to learn how to do it on your own, So that was all me, praise God. But anyway, but yeah, uh bigger support. And the kids, like I said, they see the process, and they were able to participate in the Victorious music video. So that was like super major, but they understand, mom have to go to the studio, so I would work and then, make sure home was taken care of first, and then off to the studio, and God knows what time I come back home, to go back to work, and all over again, so they understand what it takes, and they have always been supportive. My kids say this next time they're gonna have to get in the studio, so okay, we'll see about that. But yeah, so I never had any problems, no clashback, or or them regretting, or mom, you don't have time for me, nothing like that. They just excited about you know the process, and excited about the music. So that's always easy, that your spouse is in your corner. And now he's trying to see what we're gonna do next. So I'm like, okay.
Awesome.
Yes.
Your community. What has been the feedback that you've gotten from your community? Like maybe, your church, or, just where you're at. Like what's the response been like?
Just keep doing what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I see you, praying that God take you, further in the ministry, to step out, that more doors will open, those words of encouragement. I've had some apostles, and even my parents, my dad, pray, that God will open up more doors, or just excited about where I am today. And one, I think it was my mom, no, it was my dad, who had something to say about my mom. My mom is deceased, and he was saying that he knew that she would love this. Believe it or not, when she was in the hospital, which was considered as the deathbed, and I didn't really understand that, but she said, "Hey, Scherica, when you gonna record some music?" And it was so random. It
Right.
was so random. That was 2014. And I was like, Mom, what are you thinking about music right now? You need to be concerned about healing. Like, I just want to know when you're going to work on some music. That was weird, man.
Okay. Well, it's funny. It's funny, how people, you are the healing. You know what I'm saying? Like we kind of take for granted, like you were saying with your mom, like you're looking at your mom and she's in a certain state, and you feel like she should be concentrating on healing and getting better, when in actuality you are her healing. you are you are the representation and the fulfillment of God's promise to her. And to see you fulfill God's promise to her in its entirety, meaning recording music or whatever it is that you're endeavoring to do, is her healing. And that's what I
Right.
just that's
Don't
what I
make
just heard.
you're
Huh?
trying to mess me up. You're trying to mess me up tonight. You're trying to make me cry. But that is true, because even though I said that to you about the hospital, but there was times before where she said she had a dream that I was walking. She said cat walking, and my hair was long and I had all white on,
Wow.
and I was barefooted. And she said it was like fog, like smoke was like around my my feet.
Mm,
She said, "Girl, it looked like you was catwalking."
wow.
That was more. That was the music video more. I
Wow.
released that music video 2017. My mom died 2014.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
believe God gave her glimpse.
Yeah. And I just heard that when you were, you were saying that. And sometimes we devalue our impact on people's lives, you know what I'm saying? And I tell artists all the time, which is why I asked, what I'm saying, do you feel like an artist? You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of it too is that we look at ourselves, right? You look at yourself in the mirror and you're you. You know what I'm saying? When you look in the
Right.
mirror, you see you, and you're used to you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You see you every day.
Right.
So but it seems weird when somebody else comes and says, Miss Scherica, amazing, bless my life. You know what I'm saying? I was going to do XYZ, but your song came on and it changed my life. But to you, you're just you. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And it's like we tend to take ourselves for granted in certain respects. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, with that, I say to you, um, take yourself serious. Take yourself seriously, like embrace who you've become and who you are and who you've become. Because we'll say, we record these songs and yeah, people call us artists and stuff, and we kind of laugh,
Yeah.
we kind of smile.
Yeah.
But you really gotta take that serious. Like,
Right.
yeah, I am a minister. I am an artist. I am, this that because of the impact that you're having.
Right.
Even though, like I said, you look in the mirror and you just see Scherica, mother, wife, daughter, sister, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But people see you as much more. You know what I'm saying? And God has put you in a position to be seen as much more. So you have to accept that as much
Right.
more, not with arrogance, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Not
Right.
with, with pride and being puffed up, but just, carrying that responsibility and that mantle with,
Hmm.
you know, take like, again, taking it serious. I don't know why I'm saying this to you or whatever,
Well, I
but
receive it.
that's,
I receive it. I
but,
receive it because I'm still, I'm not ashamed, or I'm still embracing the
yeah.
call. And I do know that there is more.
Mhm.
I do know that, I know that there's more that God wants to do in my life, and that there's more that I want him to do in my life. So, I'm still embracing it. I'm still accepting it. I'm still saying yes. I'm not saying no,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, yeah, again, just, take it serious because we don't want people to think that we're something bigger or whatever. So, people say, hey, you're this or that, and we laugh, we smile and we laugh it off or whatever. But you actually are that. you know what I'm saying, you actually are moving in that direction. So, excuse me, it's just taking it serious and embracing it. But anyway, what would you say is the most common misconception that people have about you?
I just think that some people are like, oh, that's just Scherica. Just
Mm.
Scherica. They're just Scherica.
Okay, so what would you say people would be surprised to know about you?
Surprised to know. Okay, well, maybe to know a little bit more about my personal life. You know, people see me on social media, but they don't know, oh, she's working and she's homeschooling,
Mm-hmm.
along with being a wife. And for those that don't know me, I really do pray to the Father. I really do fast. You know, those are the things that I was taught. You know what I'm saying? And I really want to be all that God has called me to be. You know, um, I don't take it for a joke. You know what I'm saying? I really want to be who he has called me to be. And so I just want people to know that I'm for real. I'm not just doing it just to be doing this. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like some people just do it just to be doing it. No, I've invested a lot. We have invested a lot. Financially, we invested a lot. Time away from my family, we have invested a lot. So I really want to be taken serious and in what I'm doing. And I want to be able to be impactful. I want somebody to be blessed by it. And I want to receive an award when I get to heaven because
Mm.
I want him to say, you did it. Even if it was one or two people that grab hold to it, I did it.
Right.
I didn't ignore it. I didn't keep running away from the call, you know.
Awesome. Awesome. So I have one final official question. It's a question that I ask all my guests. And
Okay.
I just want you to take a moment, think about it, and then
Okay.
give me the most honest and transparent answer that you can give me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The question is this: what would have to happen in your life, if it hasn't happened already, for you to consider your life a success? What does success look like for you specifically?
Hmm. So when I think of success, I think of goals, setting out goals for yourself. And I also think of hurdles. Um, I will say that there are some parts of my life that I have been successful in because I had set goals and God honored those things, and it may have taken longer for them to happen, but overall success, mm, still working on that. I think I'm still on the potter's wheel.
Mm.
I know that again, I know that there's more. Um, so I've had some success, but overall success, I'm still in the waiting room.
Okay, okay, that's awesome. Um, so if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, maybe they want some advice, or maybe they want to do a song with you. I don't know. How can they get in touch with you?
Sure. So they can reach me. I have a website. It's ShericaLockhart.com. They can reach me there. I'm also on social media, Facebook, Scherica Lockhart, or they can find me on Instagram, which is SCLOCKHA. Yeah, I'm willing to give words of encouragement, prayer, open ear. Just want to have somebody to talk to. I'm your girl. I am your girl.
Is there anything else you want to share? Do you have any upcoming events or anything that you want to talk about to you want the people to know about?
Sure. I will actually be in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, September the 22nd to the 25th. So if you're in the Kentucky area, please come and say hello to me. I think we lost Mike. I think we lost him. Okay. Mike, are you there?
Hey guys, my phone overheated, so therefore my phone turned off. But I want to thank Ms. Scherica for coming on to the platform. Um, I think that she shared a lot of um, interesting and educational and spiritual things that we need, at this time. I encourage you to go to ShericaLockhart.com and check out her music, check out her ministry, and everything that she has going on, because it's truly powerful. And I wouldn't tell you that if I had not gone and checked it out myself. Um, and furthermore, hey,
Hey.
sorry about that. I had a little technical difficulty. Um, but you were saying, I asked, was there anything that you wanted to share with everybody that's watching?
Well, I just wanted to say that I'll be in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, September the 22nd. Yeah. Actually, we'll be singing at an event called School of Reform. My brother, Brandon Gatson, is having this event. Is really, really awesome. And I'm just glad to be a part of that. So if you're in the Kentucky area, please come out and say hello.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Again, I thank you for coming on, and sharing and being, so transparent with us. Um, I wish you much blessings on all that you have going on moving forward, and with your music ministry. I'm definitely gonna be keeping my eyes on it, and listen, keep doing what you're doing. I truly, I feel your humility, your humbleness and everything, and I know that that's going to take you very, very far. And so, with that being said, I thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you for again allowing me to be a part and having this time to talk. I
Absolutely.
think it's needed. I don't do it much. I should go live more. So I thank you for pulling it out of me to step out.
No
Yeah, I
problem at
greatly
all.
appreciate
No problem at all. Um, you have an awesome night and a even more blessed weekend. And
it.
I
All
look
right.
forward to having you on again very, very soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. You be blessed.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Okay, there you have it, guys. Thank you for sticking with me through the little technical difficulty or whatever. Um, Again, man, I want to thank Miss Scherica Lockhart for coming on to the platform and sharing her experience with us, and again, just being very transparent and very real, very honest. Um, I encourage you guys to keep pushing forward and whatever God is leading you to push forward in. Be confident and take it serious. If you're an artist, walk as an artist. If you're a minister, walk as a minister. If you are encouragement, embrace it. I'm joking, I'm serious. Um, take it serious. Whatever your chosen vocation, man, accept it, man. Don't worry about what people are thinking or saying or criticizing about, because they're going to say what they're going to say, whether you do what you do or you don't. So you might as well give them something to comment on or talk about. So, with that being said, man, I'm going to bid you guys adieu, but I will see you guys back here on Tuesday. Um, please tune in, tell a friend to tell a friend. Um, with that being said, man, let's take a walk.